Hi everyone, welcome back again to a little bit more EE stuff today. In this video I'm just going to go through some of the details of what the tasks are that you have to complete this week, and I'm also just going to go through in a little bit more detail some of the places that you can find help. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the post comments below, or you can email me and ask. So we're just going to get started. You'll remember that I said the first place you should be bookmarking is your extended essay bulletin, and you'll see that on your screen here. You'll notice that the posts will come up with the most recent information at the top. By the time you watch this, there'll be a third notice. I will also start linking the notices at the top so you can jump between them all more easily. You'll also notice if you look at the top that there is a key links section. This is where you'll find some of the extra help you need to get you started with your essay, to help you with manage back, etc. Now, these links will take you to useful places, one of those places being the EE support Padlet. So I'm just going to load that up on my screen. So in front of you, you can now see EE support resources, student edition. Now, this Padlet is structured around the EE process stages. Okay, so each stage of the process will be covered. You'll notice at the moment that it only goes to first reflection, may go a step further by tomorrow, but in here you will find the key supports you need. Guide videos, planning documents, sample work, instructions, useful links, okay, they'll all be in here. And you can come back to this at any point to check in and use the resources as necessary. I recommend you bookmark it. If you're using Chrome, click the star at the top, just so that you can come back and use it more easily. Now, a really important section is this key links zone here, because it links you back to your EE bulletin. It also links you to the EE timeline. Now, the calendar can be found in Manage Back, and you will get reminders on Teamy, but there's also a timeline document that gives you the dates. Please be aware, with things changing at the moment, these are the current due dates. There is potential for some change, so just keep that in mind. The last link on this though is EE help videos, and what that's going to do is that's actually going to take you to a YouTube page. So it's going to take you to the place that I'm currently dumping all of my online support resources for my students, and you won't necessarily be interested in all of those. But what you would be interested in is the extended essay bit down here, okay? And so there's a playlist for how to use Manage Back, and then there's a playlist for just general help. As I build the resources out, I will increase obviously the number of things in there, and the playlists might grow, but they're there for those of you who just prefer to like bookmark that and just keep an eye on any videos coming up. It's sort of an easy one-stop place to find all of those support links. It's also where I'd recommend you go if you are struggling with anything in Manage Back, because all of the Manage Back video guides will be in there on that channel. Now, activities that you do, such as the Ed puzzle for how to use Manage Back, will also appear on this page. So if we look at this page now, you can see the Introducing Manage Back. Your introductory Ed puzzle is right here, in case you ever need to go back to it. The videos that accompany those Ed puzzles will also appear in the YouTube channel, okay? So you can find them in either place. Now, I just want to go through and just show you a few things. One of the things you might be interested in is some of the working documents and planning documents. So for example, here we've got an EE planning sheet. If you click that and open it, what it will do is it will take you to a document that can be used for any subject to plan your essay. Now, some of your supervisors may already have shared this with you. If they haven't, please feel free to make use of it. It is not designed to be used digitally, so you might want to just use it as a model and type out your own document or handwrite your own notes, because it does not work well as a digital document. If you have any questions about how to use this, I recommend talking to your supervisor. They'll have used it before mostly. But it's pretty straightforward. What's your question? What method will you use to conduct your research? And then just a little bit more detail, building out the topic that you're going to talk about. Another useful thing that you might find here, if you're a world studies student, and I know this year we've got quite a lot of you because of the sciences, there are some guides to getting started with world studies, okay, including the world subject guidance as well as subject guides for the other subjects. So if you're a World Studies student, you know you're taking 2 or more subjects together, and you may want to know a little bit more about the curriculums if you don't study both of those subjects, so you can access them there. More importantly though is the theory planner. This theory planner is a great place to get started, and it's the first thing I give to all of my World Studies students. So if you look back to your screen now, you'll see that it asks for your research question, and then it says, what do I need to know? You can just use this to help plot out kind of the sub-questions and then allocate those questions between the 2 subjects that you're looking at. I won't go through all the resources at this point, although there will be help videos later for how to use some of the more complex tools. I just wanted to introduce you to this space, and more importantly, to take you to the Introduction to Research Skills. Now, this link will appear on your TEAME page with this current video post, because this is what you need to get started on this week. Normally, we would do a research skills lesson. It would be run in student-free periods, and it would be compulsory. All of you would be taking it at school with Kurt or with Sean McHugh or myself, and everybody would complete that. Because of obvious situations at the moment, it's not possible for us to do that this year. So all of you are going to need to complete this ed puzzle. It's not hard. It'll probably take you 45 minutes to an hour to complete it. And I would ask that all of you try and complete it over the next 2 weeks, okay? So over the next 2 weeks, you want to be clicking that link either from here or from TEAME, okay? Just to undertake that. And it's going to talk you through some advanced search tools, how to use Boolean commands, and some of the, I suppose, useful tools for kind of citing, finding sources and that sort of information. The other links you've got there are links to the library stuff. So reference sites that we have, UWC Find, the Research Hub, and referencing help. Referencing is a key part of this process, and I cannot emphasize enough, start early. Do not try and work out how to do referencing after you've submitted your draft, okay? So I really recommend checking out some of those resources right around now. The last post you've got at the moment is about the reflections. Now, I'm not going to talk about the reflections. I'm going to do a separate video on that, and that will appear here as a how-to EE reflections video. But just be aware that they're coming up in the next couple of weeks, so you might want to look at the reflection interview questions. You might want to look at the manage back and where you've got to put them. Okay, that video is there already. And then, of course, come back to this Padlet, because there will be new resources on things like how to do critical analysis, how to start drafting your essay, what outlining looks like, and other useful tips and guides for how to conduct your EE. Now, I've spent quite a lot of time talking about this resource, and it's got lots of stuff in there, but probably your most useful resource is your supervisor, okay? They are all very, very capable at what they do, and they've all got lots of experience doing it. So if you are unsure about something, make sure you ask. At the same time as I say that though, please remember that this is an independent research task. Your supervisor is not there to tell you what to do, okay? They are not going to come up with a question for you. They are not going to go and find resources and articles for you. They might give you a couple to help you get started, but they're not going to be doing your research for you. They're not going to be editing your work, okay? They're not going to check your grammar. This is a really independent process, which is why you don't really need to stress about the whole distance learning thing with the EE, because you'd be doing it via distance anyway. But your EE supervisor is there if you have a question, if you do just want a little bit of guidance on what to do next, or if you're stuck on a decision, that's what they're there to help you with, okay? So please make sure you touch base with them and always ask if you've got a question. Even if they can't answer it, they will tell you and either send you off to do your own research, or they'll send you to me, okay? Now, that's all I'm going to go through right now. Hopefully that helped and you've got a little bit of a better idea of where those resources are. So the 3 things I kind of recommend that you bookmark, those EE bulletins, the Padlet that you're looking at on your screen now, and the YouTube playlists, okay? Just so that you can access them quickly if and when you need them. Last thing, aside from the research skills that you've got to do this week, I also want you to have a formal meeting with your supervisors this week. So by formal, I don't mean like you'll have to dress up and sit. It doesn't have to be via Google Meet, but I want it to have a little bit more structure. So you need to go into it prepared with some questions, hopefully having read a little bit of stuff, okay, about your work. And what will happen is at the end of that discussion this week, where you talk about maybe narrowing your question a little bit or some of the research you've started doing, is I want you to make some notes on that, okay? And you're going to put your notes into Manage Back. If you need help remembering how to add a note or an interview to Manage Back, there is a video on that on the YouTube channel. So if you just go into there, go into Extended Essay Manage Back, do not play all.
Hi everyone.
Oh, ignore me talking. And then what you'll do is you'll scroll down and you'll see leave a note for your supervisor, okay? And that's what you're going to do for me today. You're going to leave a note for your supervisor after you've had that conversation. That conversation is purely just a chance for you to touch base, make sure you've got some direction and some next steps. And so in the notes, what you might choose to record is my next steps are, or 3 things I'm going to do after this meeting, or 2 things we talked about today. So the whole point of that is just so you've got a running record of those conversations, okay? And I want to get you into the habit of doing that. So if you've listened to nothing else in the last few minutes, however long it's been, 2 things. You need to do research skills over the next 2 weeks. This week, you need to meet with your supervisor and record some interview notes onto Manage Back, all right? Research skills, meeting and Manage Back. If you can do those things this week, you are well on track to having a successful essay. As per usual, if you have any questions, please let me know, talk to your supervisors, and I will see you again soon. Bye.